Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and today I thought I would do my March faves and flops. And this is all like lifestyle, skincare, hair care, makeup, and who knows, my comments on things. Okay, I know that you enjoyed that. First of all, my hair, elephant in the room here. I started using Briogeo. This is the Strengthen and Repair box. It's like sample sizes, but they're pretty hefty samples. You get a shampoo, a conditioner, and then you get a hair mask. And then you also get this little glass vial of oil that you can put on your hair to treat it just before you blow dry it or whatever. This keeps falling and spilling, so there's only a little bit left, and I've only used a few drops. So I'm not completely happy with the packaging here. But I got this in, of all places, I was in TJ Maxx, and this thing is usually about $30 for the set of 3. It's a great way to try it. I'm not sure if I like it. But my hair looks okay. I look like I'm about to break into a country song, don't I? Yeah. RDIVORCE became final today. Yeah. This is my wolf cut that I did in the video last time. I just wanted you to see what it looked like curled up because I thought it looked kind of messy after I cut it off, and then I just kind of let it dry naturally. It didn't really look all that great, and I was like, ooh, you know, here I am telling you how easy it was to do a wolf cut, and then it looked crappy. So I just wanted you to see all the layers that it gives you. So, and it does remind me a lot of my 70s hair, although there's less of it. I mean, I do have thinner hair. I have been using like Olaplex. How is that trial going, by the way? I'd love to know how that's going, because those ladies are going to have to provide samples of their hair for them to test, for some third party to test, I think, so to prove that what they're saying is true. But again, I don't think that it's the Olaplex, but you know, I'd love to see what that is. But in the meantime, I noticed Olaplex is on sale for 20% off right now at Ulta too. They're doing that Ulta 21 Days of Beauty thing. I'm not jumping too much on that. And also, I know the Sephora sale is coming up for Rouge members. It starts on the 14th of this April. And I'm not buying anything. This is the first time that Sephora has had a sale that I'm not buying anything at Sephora. I actually have not bought anything at Sephora this whole year. Anyway, this Briogeo, the hair mask felt good on my hair. My hair feels, you know, pretty healthy. It looks shiny. It feels clean. So this is a Strengthen and Repair particular formulation. I don't know what the other ones are like, but this one worked out nicely. I'm trying different ones. I also have one from Keratique that I'm trying out. So you get those shampoo, moisturizer, and hair mask, and you get the hair oil as well. And it was $10.99. It was $10.99 at TJ Maxx. It's $29.99 at Ulta right now. So if you see this in TJ Maxx, you may want to try it out just so you can see the products. You may like one of the products and not the others. I really like the shampoo, and I like the hair mask. I thought they were really nice. The oil I'm not so sure about. It did make my hair shinier. So as far as strengthening and all that, I don't know if those claims are true. I haven't had it long enough to try those out. I watch other YouTubers, and you know, we're all on the same team here. We're not competitive, we're not anti each other, and I do watch other YouTubers, and there was a time when we were highly competitive, and it was a much fuller market of people in the 55 and older grouping, and this was before the ethics started to change on YouTube, when everybody was selling things instead of talking about makeup. We were selling things. And so I have unsubscribed from a lot of people that I feel are just one big infomercial on their channels, or they're just putting ad after ad after ad up there, and they talk for like a minute and a half, and then there's an ad. They talk for another minute and a half, there's another ad. I'm telling you, when you are doing YouTube videos, uploading them, you can tell them, I only want 2 ads in the middle of my video and no more. Because that's what I do. You'll see 2 ads, you'll see it after the first 15 minutes, and then you'll see it after the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and that's it. I don't have any other ads in my videos. I think they're very distracting and annoying. Especially what is that one with that couple that goes to the dance? She's going, I wonder if he's looking at my hairline. I'm like, I hate her. I hate her. I'm just like, and they always show that during my video. And they're showing them dancing really bad to this band. And then they show the list of ingredients and side effects. And I'm like, what the heck is this for? You know, there's Ostella or Ostola or horrible. I hate those medical things. And we can't pick who advertises in and around our videos. So I apologize to those of you who have to watch those horrible ads. Back to the subject. I was watching Mrs. Melissa M, and I do like her. I mean, she's very sales pitchy too, but I really like her. I think she's a nice person. She's got some health issues. She looks great. She had surgery similar to mine, and she's losing weight. She talks about a variety of things, and she has a lot of knowledge about makeup. And her skin type is a little different from mine, so the foundations that look good on her do not look good on me. But I do like when she talks about lipsticks or eyeshadows or hair products. She wears some cute clothes sometimes. And she links everything. She has like a system where she puts a number in the corner and you can just click on the number. YouTube makes it so hard to even find where the description of stuff is on our videos. They make it harder and harder for smaller channels. So anyway, back to the product. Oh my gosh. It is like a visit, isn't it? Like for an hour visit, you're visiting me. Anti-monkey butt. Anti-friction powder. It's talc-free, sweat, odor, and friction fighter with calamine. It's a powdered calamine lotion. It has the calamine lotion smell, but no other fragrance is added. This light powder is something you can put underneath your undergarments, where your legs meet your body cavity, belly button, under the bra area, under the arms, you know, any place where you sweat. This powder is great. As we're getting into spring and summer now, some of us are in warm climates and humid climates. Connecticut is extremely cold in the winter, and then we go into this humid season. You know, they call it spring, but summer is like 2 weeks into spring here. So this anti-monkey butt, this was the inexpensive one. I learned about this from Mrs. Melissa M. So thank you to her for that, because it's very helpful. For food, I saw somebody else talking about this and I had to try it. This is from the Dollar Tree. This is the oven baked fudge mint cookies, like the Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies. You stick this puppy in the freezer. I'm telling you, you'd never know the difference between this and the Thin Mints. Really good for $1.25. Really good. You get 2 columns of cookies. Very good. Okay, I need that like a hole in the head. I am going to start with some skincare. This is a new holy grail for me, and I don't like to throw that terminology around lightly. Dr. Dre was in Walmart or somewhere, and she pointed at these Ambi things. There's different types. And she said, oh, those are good. I wonder why they're down there or something. And I was like, Ambi. I never liked the name, so I never tried it before. Isn't that weird that, you know, if you don't like the packaging or the name, you don't try something? Well, this is, it's a cream oil body lotion, and it's a beautiful moisturizer. You get out of the shower, and you take a couple pumps of this and put it around your feet, your heels, your legs, your arms, elbows. Oh my gosh, your skin feels so soft and hydrated. This stuff is amazing. You can get it in the drugstore, in Walmart, on Amazon. You can get it pretty much anywhere. Ambi cream oil. absolutely phenomenal. It is my new favorite moisturizer after the shower. So this is the skin thing. I have a kind of a complaint here, and this is ColourPop. I want to show you the, you can see it. You see where the wood is coming away? Literally, the wood just breaks right off. These brushes are so nice, the eye brushes from ColourPop, but the handles, they just shred, and then you can get a splinter, literally a splinter when you're using your eye pen. And I wash my eye brushes, to be fair. I do wash my eye brushes after every use. I don't even let them sit for 2 uses. I'm really into this hygienic mode right now. And all of the brushes are doing this. They're just cracking and breaking. And I really thought about taping them, you know, taping them up with like electrical tape and still using them, because the brush part is wonderful. I love the brushes. So don't know what to do, but ColourPop, they need to check on this. I noticed on sale at Ulta Beauty, they're only $7 now. This is one of my favorite, if not the favorite, drugstore foundation. This is the Ulta Beauty Complexion Crush. I would highly recommend, if you're a neutral person, that you go with the cool tones. This is cool light and also cool medium light. Now that we're getting into spring and summer, you may want to go a little bit darker, but these are well worth even the $14. They're good, but they're $7 right now. So I'd highly recommend, if you haven't tried this, this is a good time to try it, because for $7 you get a really nice age-friendly foundation. And I stand by this. I have dry skin. Sometimes I have dry patches. I have lots of wrinkles, and this stuff glides over and looks really good, better than any high-end foundation, although I am testing a few out right now. I'm going to be doing a foundation contest, I guess you could say, of my favorite foundations, because the last one I did was probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and man, my skin has changed a lot, but my skincare has also been upgraded a lot. So between the two, different kinds of foundations look good on me now than they did back then. The very first one I want to talk to you about is something that I found. I was on Geek Out of Water. She's a great channel for foundation, concealer. I think she also does Color Street products. She's doing Foundation Fridays all the time, and I always watch her, and she was talking about a foundation that I wasn't particularly fond of. And I commented in the comments, I said, I don't like this particular foundation, but I love watching your reviews, and thank you so much for doing those swatches. Well, somebody commented to me saying this was her favorite foundation ever. And it's like, she said, if you have dry skin and patches and don't like that foundation that Geek Out of Water was talking about, try this. So I ordered it, and oh my gosh, this is a marvelous, marvelous foundation. This is the Kryolan Super Color, and I know I tried this years ago, but what you do is you take some out like this, and then you can put it on a little, like a little plate, or you know, something out of the kitchen. Just take it out of there. And instead of wiping your fingers all over this, it's probably not a good idea. Wipe your fingers all over this. But I have streams here where I've been trying it. I have the NB shade. It's really hard to find what shade is what in this. You can get it from Camera Ready Cosmetics. I'll link it below. This is a marvelous, marvelous product. It's very, very hydrating. And you can put it on, I put it on with a dry sponge. Literally put it on with a dry sponge or my fingers. It is not something you want to put on with a wet sponge. A brush maybe, but you still have to pat it in and heat it up with your fingers to meld into your skin, and it looks fabulous. It is absolutely fabulous. So it is a front runner actually in my foundation contest here. So this is the Kryolan. This is like a pro thing. You can get this on Camera Ready Cosmetics. You can get it on Amazon. Get it on AliExpress. There's a few places you can buy it. Check the pricing. You know, you can check it pricing is, I would say, anywhere from $22 to $50, depending on your vendor on this. Really, really good. I have shade NB, as in new bestie. And this is like a medium light shade, because when you put it on, even though it looks, well, actually it doesn't look too dark, but this is, it's slightly cool tone. NB is kind of a nude beige color, and I would say this would be a medium light color. So you can take that from there and work down from there. If you're lighter skin, if you're darker skin or deeper skin tones, you can probably go a little bit deeper. I really like that. Very, very hydrating. Now this foundation has a bit of a history for me. This is the Alexandra de Markoff. This is the most luxurious foundation in the world. At one point in the 1920s, there was a makeup artist named Antoine who had the difficult job of making sure actresses had good makeup on that wouldn't hurt their skin, that wouldn't change color, and could withstand the hard and heavy bright lights of early 1920s Hollywood picture making and theater. Now the bright lights would melt regular makeup or discolor it, or it would fuse it into the actress's skin, and their skin would have blotches and have all kinds of skin problems. So this guy developed this particular Alexandra de Markoff line of foundation to withstand all of that. And I thought, oh, you know, that's neat. And it was used in Hollywood. It was considered a makeup artist's secret. It was very luxurious. He named it Alexandra de Markoff after his mom, who only had the best of everything. So it was named for her, and it is a marvelous, wonderful thing. Now it is a oil-based makeup. Mineral oil is like the #1 ingredient, and it's got talc, and it's got a few other propyl glycol things in it. Things that nowadays we'd probably consider not a healthy, clean foundation. It's hard to find, and there are some places you can still locate some of the shades, but the shade system is numbers, and I believe it starts at 69.5 and goes up to 111 or something like that. This is the 72.5 shade, which I would say is a medium light shade, and 70.5 is the lightest I've been able to see that's still available. Now this was sold back in the 1960s to Charles of the Ritz Company, and then they combined with Lanvin to create, and I remember seeing ads of luxurious ladies wearing this and thinking it was just, wow, when I grow up I want to wear this makeup. They then sold out to Revlon and YSL, and then they kind of disbanded. Back in 2002, this company was disbanded. But there's a new company called ADE, DMAR or something like that. It's kind of, they're carrying all the Alexandra de Markoff products. And the lady who has the patent on the original formula is elderly now, and she won't give out the formula to anybody. So this formulation is pretty much going extinct. And I think a lot of the places where you order this, including the website that's supposedly this brand, they don't have most of the shades. And my box says 1969 on it. I don't know if that's just when it was printed and they just keep using the same box, but it has a little story on the back. Again, I have shade 72.5, and it's on this side of my face. It's absolutely beautiful, and I wore it to work 3 or 4 days last week, and I'm going to show you a picture of what it was like. I had put it on at 5:30 in the morning, and it was then like 2:30 in the afternoon when I took this picture at work. Now I look very conservative at work, but my skin looked great. So yes, it's a great foundation. I didn't find it was it clogged anything or caused any skin reactions. It makes my skin look very healthy and natural. What I did notice is that in my deeper lines, if I had any kind of patchiness, it clung to that. So it did not pass muster on all of my check boxes. So I'm afraid this one is not going to make it into the finals. But I did want to show you the Alexandra de Markoff foundation. Now you have to shake it vigorously. Actually, you should turn it upside down and make sure there's nothing still stuck to the bottom. They used to include a stir stick with it, with the original formulation. Now online, a lot of people are saying this is not the original formulation, it's a guess. Somebody tried to analyze what was in it and create their own version, and it's not the same. Some people are very, very loyal to this foundation. They say they've been using it for 40 years, and now it's different, it's hard to find. It's different. The shade they used to use is not the same anymore. Most people seem to gravitate to the 82 to 88 range, and I think that's the medium skin color range. But the Alexandra de Markoff, I'm glad I got to try it. It was on my bucket list, but I can't say I would recommend it. And at the price points, it hits $38 up to $74, depending on the vendor you buy it from. And if they charge shipping or not, that's what you're going to be paying. So I'm really sad that it didn't work out for me as well. But again, I have it on this side of my face, and yeah, okay. So it's going back. I'm going to have to return it, and it's unfortunate that that's going to happen, but I paid a lot of money for it and it's not working for me, and I won't be able to get any more back. Can't really discuss it with you if it's not available to the public, and God knows how old this is. If the company's still making it and they're not making it correctly, then it's not really the same product, is it? So the other product I have recently purchased, it's been a while. I mean, I tried this originally when I was doing a Mally special. I did do a docutorial about Mally Cosmetics, and I tried this then. My skincare back then wasn't as good, and so I'm not sure I was as crazy about it as I am now. I think it's a marvelous foundation. This is the Stress Less Performance Foundation from Mally Beauty. Now Mally used to be, they used to have it in Ulta, and so when they stopped having this at Ulta, I actually started buying it in Kohl's, and they had like the eye palettes, the perfecting base, that was that weird kind of liquidy stuff that you put on instead of powder as a primer. It was really neat. She has some good stuff. Now she's on QVC. You can find her on Amazon. Amazon has a Mally store. So that's probably the easiest thing, because Amazon does, ship around the world. So I'll link everything below that I'm using, but I do like this particular foundation a lot. I have the shade Light, and it's just beautiful, and it does have a pump. Absolutely beautiful. Now Light is a true light shade, so it's my winter shade. I'm actually more of a medium light, but it's on this side of my face, and I do like it very much. So the Mally Stressless Performance Foundation, definitely 2 thumbs up from me. Really, really like this one. Speaking of foundations, I know that Too Faced did put out a new skin tint, and it's supposedly kind of a dupe for the Dior Backstage. I have seen too many reviews now where they're saying that if you have dry patches or deep wrinkles, it does go into them. Morgan Turner, she's a young gal that she has dry skin, but she doesn't have all the wrinkles and texture I have. So I kind of take any of her foundation reviews with a little bit of grain of salt, but she's closer to me than other younger people who have oily skin. She didn't really like it, and she put it on and warmed it up with her hands first and then put it on, and it seemed to meld into her skin better, but it did collect on the patches and it did sink into the lines. So I'm not purchasing it to try it. I had, the second I saw it, I thought, oh, I want it, and none of my local Ultas carried it. It was online only, and I thought, well, you know, maybe if I travel to the bigger cities, I can find it in those Ultas. And then I thought, I'm not going to go through all that trouble. It's, yeah, I'm not going to. So I think I'm just going to take a pass on that. I did like their Peach Perfect foundation from Too Faced. I thought that was a great one, and they discontinued it. So that was something that I thought was great. If this was like that, I would be more on it, but it's not. This is a serum-y kind of thing. And I keep seeing people dripping it onto their faces. I'm like, please don't do that. It reminds me of that ZZ Top song, Pearl Necklace. Yeah, please don't. Please don't. For blushes, I was in the Dollar Tree, of course, when I got those chocolate mint cookies. I saw this. This is the Essentially Ageless line, and they're made in the same place the Marquins stuff, the Wet n Wild stuff, is made. So it's probably from the Marquins and Wet n Wild factory. This particular shade is Hibiscus, and I have it on this side of my face. It is so pretty, and it was $1.25. Really, really pretty. Let me just see if I've got the mirror here. It looks more orange, but on the face, I'm trying to get it so it looks like the color in the screen. It doesn't. Hibiscus. It's just so pretty. And on the other side, I have another popular, this is Sweet Cheeks, and this is in that Dior shade that everybody likes. Sweet Cheeks in this bright pink. And I thought, oh boy, I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear that. But this is so subtle. It's just so subtle. And it's so pretty. So I like both of these blushes a lot and equally. And they don't look all that different. And yet in the pan, I mean, they couldn't look more different in the pan. But on the face, for some reason, they look similar. Very similar. So I like both of them. I think Hibiscus in the Essentially Ageless line from the Dollar Tree. I believe it is Marquins, and they make Wet n Wild cosmetics. The Color Story Cosmetics, they make all of those. So I think it's that factory. On my nails today, I have, these are those nail wraps. Now I got a bunch of them off of Amazon. You know, you can order a whole bunch of them. They're kind of like the Color Street things, but they're really not. It feels like you're putting a piece of Scotch tape on your finger. It really does. It's a little bit different than the Color Street stuff, and even the Daring Diva. Daring Diva has a little bit thicker consistency. These are they're like one layer. They're not more than one layer, and they're shiny on the top, almost like packaging tape. So they work. They don't last a really long time. I can't say that they're as good quality as even Darling Diva or Daring Diva, whatever that brand is that you can get at CVS that costs $7.99 for one set. But you can get 15 sets for $5 or $6. So, you know, these are one of them. But there's some really cute different shades in here. The thing with these cheapy Amazon ones too, you have to watch out for is the sizing of the fingers. Sometimes the thumb isn't quite wide enough. If you have a wide thumb, these might not be wide enough. And I noticed that they're smaller on the Amazon ones than they are in the Color Street or the Darling Diva. So just be aware of that. If you have really wide fingers, these may not work for you, or you'll have to double them up. And you can double them up if they've got a design on them. It'll blend in better, but a solid, you'll be able to see the line of demarcation there. I keep seeing my hair in the monitor, and I want to, you know, I'm a coal miner's daughter, the thing. Okay. Eye palettes. Disappointed Am I? This is the new one from ColourPop. It is called Smoke and Roses. And I thought, oh, I need something for spring that's got some pink in it, that's got some neutrals, that's got some other stuff. That won't be bad. And I keep making the same eye look over and over again. I'm making the same eye look. This thing doesn't really have the versatility I wanted. But I will say this shade here, which is, what is this called? Attraction, it's called. Attraction. This is a marvelous pigmented light, and it reminded me of you know what. This that they have discontinued from Wet n Wild. Let me just put them side by side. I think they're pretty close. They look the same on the eyes. I have one on one and one on the other. They look the same. So if you're looking for a dupe for the Wet n Wild Brulee, this is pretty close, and the formulation is spot on. Really good. Grays, some purples, a black. It's got a shimmer brown that doesn't show up very well or last very long. It's got a lot of micro glitter shimmer shades. This one's quite powerful. Very powerful. I've got it on the inside, and the pink is just amazing, actually. But that micro glitter gets everywhere. It gets in your eyeballs. And for eye health and everything else, I don't recommend it. I like using this under the eyes. The two pinks are okay. The corals are okay. There's two transition browns and one lighter kind of disappears into the skin, cool tone, skin tone. The purple's okay. I just am disappointed because I keep making, and let me just show you my eye look here. I keep making the same eye. I look the same every day when I'm using this palette, and it's like, well, that's good if that's what you want to look like every day, but there's no versatility with this palette. You know, not like Stone Cold Fox. Like Stone Cold Fox, this is very loved. Has, even though they have neutrals, I feel like I can get several different looks from this palette, and on this one, I don't think I can. So this is going back, actually. I'm really disappointed, and the quality of some of the shadows is very bland. The shimmers especially were bland. The micro glitter fallout is really killing it with this. It's just awful. And there's no color payout for some of the deeper shades. I think there was one. Yeah, that's the dark chocolate. I was like, really? Yeah, not really good. So I think this was disappointing. So, and I thought it was going to replace my Stone Cold Fox because it had neutrals and it had the pinks in it. And I thought, oh, I can, you know, replace my Stone Cold Fox. It's starting to get old, and I don't keep old makeup. I don't collect makeup like some people do. You can't collect makeup. It's a hygiene product. Smoke and Roses is a fail. Also a fail is my own palette. I made up this palette out of Viseart, Huda Beauty, Natasha Denona, and a couple of other palettes that I really loved, including there's the Wet n Wild shade. I mean, I can't use this. I have December of 2024 listed as the last time I can wear any of these shadows, because that's the 3-year mark on the shadows. And it's like, and I can't tell you about any of this because I don't remember exactly which ones. I know some of these little ones here are the Visearts, but I can't tell you exactly what some of these are from. Like, really bad. It's great for your own home personal use, but if you have a YouTube channel, this is a mistake. So if you're a creator, don't do this because it's not helpful. I can't talk to you about this, and I love to use it. I love some of the colors in here. They don't even have this anymore. This is from Tarte. This was their, it's just a Z palette from Tarte, and I love it, but it was a mistake. Darn it. Darn it. Mascaras. I was really thrilled to see this on Amazon. It was a, supposedly a dupe for the Thrive Cosmetics, you know, lash extensions. And it's called JAYSOUNG lash extensions. It has the same packaging and everything. And when you open it, it looks very similar on the inside as well. But the brush is different. The product is almost non-existent. It literally just paints your lashes, doesn't even do anything. It's going back. I was furious that they didn't even have the brush right on this. Nothing looked like the real thing. So a lot of times these Amazon copycats don't get it right, and so I tried it so you wouldn't. I took a hit for the team here. So I think this one was $8 or $9. Yeah, so you know, for $22 or whatever it is to buy the real thing, I'd buy the real thing, really. Also with mascaras, I decided to try this. This is the Sky High Primer, and this is a lash primer to go along with your Sky High regular mascara. You put the primer on first. It's a light soft black color, it's not white, and then you put this over and it's supposed to really make your lashes look great. Well, I have a picture of side by side with just using 3 coats of this and using this with 2 coats, and I want you to see the difference. So the side with the 3 coats of this got a little bit clumpy, and the side with the 2 coats with this on the bottom seemed more feather-like. They also were a little bit more flexible. It didn't really feel like they were as crispy. On this side with the 3 layers of this, they felt more crispy. So yeah, it did make a difference. I don't know why can't they put the 2 of these things together and make one good mascara? I like this mascara a lot, the Sky High. It's one of my favorite drugstore mascaras. The primer, it didn't disappoint in that it did actually make my lashes bigger. On its own, it made a pretty good lash, so you could actually get away with just wearing this as a mascara, but it's nice as an underneath for this. And I did let it dry slightly, but it was very flexible and rubbery. So you get more separated lashes, and you get that length when you use this than if you just try to put 3 coats of this on. And it seemed to almost take 4 coats to try to equal what 2 coats in one of this was like. So I guess it's got a good review from me, the primer. From Ardell, these are the 420 Naked Lashes, and what I do is I cut one in half. Got that from Miss Melissa 55. And I have half on one eye, half on the other eye. And so I get that false lash volume that I want, but it's not over the top. I can actually wear this to work and get away with it. But this is a really nice assortment. The 420s are a pretty good length to work with, and they're even on both sides more so you can cut them in half and use one on one side and one on the other really nicely. One of you reminded me, it was a BX girl, reminded me that the best under eye liner for the eyes is the Shockwaves from LA Girl. Thank you so much. Yep, I forgot all about it when I was talking about some of my favorite products, and this is an excellent. You can use it underneath to tight line, and it stays put. It stays put. Really good. I have the black, and you could get any color in this, and it works really well. The Shockwave ones especially work well from LA Girl. Oh, let's go back to the eyes here. I was really saddened to hear about Rock and Roll Beauty. I guess they're closing up shop, and this is a marvelous palette, and they still have it available on the Rock and Roll Beauty website, and it's half off. This is the Osborne Rock and Roll Beauty palette. It's got some of the best greens of any of my palettes. I love this, and as soon as Halloween was over, they took this down out of Ulta, and I never heard from them again. Now, Rock and Roll Beauty is a couple of guys who are crazy about rock and roll, mostly heavy metal bands, and they started a makeup business and collabed with the bands. The bands actually were involved, and Ozzy was involved with this. So they had to pay, you know, the royalties out to the performers, as well as doing you know, the palette themselves. The palette is probably made in the same factories that a lot of the Makeup Revolution stuff is, and a lot of people thought these were Makeup Revolution palettes, but they're not. The color stories were a little odd because I'm not sure if these guys are really know enough about eye makeup to create color stories. They had a couple of bands that seemed a little odd choices, and they just made the color story like one of their album colors groupings, and I thought, well, that's odd, but this Aussie one was awesome. And it also, they have like lipsticks, and they have like makeup bags, and they have a few other merch items that is definitely worth looking on the website. Everything's 50% off on the website right now. This is definitely worth it. This is the Ozzy Osbourne collection and it even opens like a coffin. I mean, it opens backwards like a coffin. I love that. I love the greens in this. It's got my favorite green shades, light and dark green shades. I mean, I could do more with this than I could do with that stupid ColourPop thing. This is marvelous. This is wonderful. So, Rock and Roll Beauty is kaput. And I would, you know, if you want a good green palette, this is the one, and you can get it really cheap right now because it's 50% off. I'll link the website. It's not kind of anything that's I'm not gonna get anything out of it. I was doing, who was it? Margaret Manning from that 60 show. She's got that 60 channel, and she said she was talking to an AI robot online. It was one of those chat bot apps that you can get. You type in a question and it answers you. It's a lot like asking Google stuff, except it's more personalized. And it will go into details more. And I asked the AI chat, and I think I've got the chatbot version 8. I just had the free version. I said, what's the best lipstick for a woman over 65? And this is what the chatbot came out with as the #1 choice, and it is the Pop lipsticks from Clinique. And I love these. These are like my favorite lipsticks. They said they're moisturized, they've got some color to them, they're not over the top, and they have a good lasting power, and they're healthy. And I love these. These are my favorite. So the AI was right. I also asked AI, you know, questions like, why are people driving so fast on the highway? Because everybody's like zooming by me at 85 and weaving. And, you know, it gave a very technical answer. And I asked, you know, if the world's going to be okay with global warming. And it said he cannot, I am an AI program, so I cannot predict the future. But we are taking steps to, you know, check this or that. And I thought, oh, that's you know, every answer from it was interesting. It was just interesting. I asked the history of the Native American Indian, which I'm really into the Native American Indian culture and indigenous culture, first world people. Yeah, and it had like a really nice, very, very factual sort of history. It was abbreviated, but if you ask details, it will tell you the details. And I like the idea of the AI stuff. I'm really getting into things like that. It's like taking a class. Other lip stuff. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Slicks Lip Gloss, and this is in Bronze Berry, I believe. Now you get that kind of flowery candy sort of scent, but it goes away, and this is just a pretty, it's just a pretty lip gloss. Really, really nice, the Mega Slicks. And I was watching somebody who said they liked this, they didn't care what anybody thought, and it might have been Rebecca from Frugolista blog, I don't know. Whoever it was, thank you for talking about this, because I used to use these and I felt guilty about it because I like them so much, and I thought, you know, it's not a popular opinion, and I was a little shy back then, but now I'm fearless, totally fearless about what I say. And I like these. These are really inexpensive, and they do the job really well. They look natural and great. That smell dissipates after a minute or so you don't smell it anymore, and it looks nice on the mouth, an older mouth. It's very age friendly. So I did have some bad experience this past month. I was traveling in a remote area of New Hampshire, and I stopped for gas, and I used my bank card in the thing that you do at the gas pump, and I didn't get a receipt or anything, and I was like, oh well, you know, and I you know, put $20 worth of gas or whatever in, and then suddenly, about a week later, I noticed I started getting these charges from this health place in New York. $15.42 each day for 4 days in a row. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's this? You know, and I had seen a doctor fairly recently. I thought, are they breaking up, you know, my payments? Well, you know, I called my, said, are you charging me in increments each day? Because I'd rather just pay you one time. And they said, no, we haven't billed you yet. The insurance hasn't gotten back to us yet. I'm like, okay. So I called my bank, and they had to put a stop on my bank card. And man, I tell you, I had to, you know, take my bank card out of circulation for all of the bills I automatically pay, for all of those credit card payments I automatically pay. It was a nightmare. My insurance didn't go through, my internet bill didn't go through, my phone bill didn't go through. I mean, there were all these things I had to quick, you know, do, and it took them about a week to get me a new card, you know, with a new thing, and then they, you know, took off the charges. But check your bank statements every day for stuff like this, because it's something, it's such an automatic, you know, when you just look and you see something, I make a lot of charges. I use my bank card for everything, but I will never use it again at a gas station, especially in a small town, you know, where you're out in the middle of nowhere. I was pretty upset. So yeah, I would pay cash at a gas station from now on. That's really taught me cash money, get a receipt, and then just do it, because it's been a nightmare. But I'm still finding things that old card's attached to, that when they charge for the next month, it's not going through. So I've been going through kind of a hellish nightmare changing that out. So just read your CC bills carefully. So the kitchen declutter is working out really well. The kitchen works nicely for me. I'm going to take it to the next level and try to put away things that are on the counter and just take them down when I need to use the item. And I really like taking this minimalism stuff to heart, and I'm going to start putting away things off the counter so the counters are more clear. And you'd never know that by looking at my makeup stuff, but that's all been toned down a lot too. I have much less than most influencers do here on YouTube. So anyway, so that's about it for this month. I will be back in my next video. I'm going to be doing a foundation contest, because it's been about 5 or 6 years since I've done one, and since my skin's changed and I've gotten older and products have changed and they've gotten better, I just want to update that series that I did. I'm not going to be doing 19 foundations, but I will be doing at least 10 different foundations and let you know the top ones that I really love. So I hope all of you are doing well, and thank you so much for watching, spending time with me today, and have a wonderful week. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Oh, and happy spring.